Zachary Show here. Welcome to episode 22 of my Hogwarts Legacy playthrough. In the last episode, Sebastian and I explored this cave or whatever, and we learned the Imperious Curse, which I cast on Ominous, and then I got scolded by Sebastian's uncle, and he's like, if I ever see you two do this again, I'm going to report you to the headmaster. Anyways, after that, I recorded about 4 more episodes that had no game audio. And unlike my issue in Spider-Man, I'm not gonna do a quick sped up thing and recap because that'll take forever. So I took some notes and I'm gonna just summarize what went on in those episodes. A lot of it was side stuff, not really important, but I will cover the details. So I explored a mine for Rainrock. That's the goblin that's on our side. He's like the double agent. And we learned that Lodgok is the friendly one. Rainrock is the bad one, and he is building enormous drills to mine for magic deposits to fuel his power. I also helped Sebastian search a mine, and I mentioned after that I was working with Lodgok, and Sebastian got mad at me because goblins are the ones who cursed his sister. I also learned Descendo, which is a cool spell. You'll see it, where you launch people and slam them into the ground. I'm hand gesturing, you couldn't see my hand. And then I was tasked with rescuing Thestrals for my room of requirement, which I have not done yet at all. I helped Poppy return the dragon egg. I helped this man steal a plant. It's not really relevant, but I did it. And then I gathered legitimate evidence along with Natty to implicate Rookwood and Harlow because they've been abducting people, extorting them, and we presented that to the police, who will probably do nothing. And then I spoke with, you could see her far left there, that portrait. I spoke with her and learned that the final map chamber is located at Hogwarts. And I have to get into the headmaster's office because she is the former headmistress. Her name is Headmistress Fitzgerald. Anyways, now that recap's over, I believe my next mission, that was way quicker, by the way, than I anticipated. We figured a way to get into the headmaster's office, which the Polyjuice plot will probably help with. It says, need to speak with Professor Fig about how to get into the headmaster's office. The keeper suddenly planned for me there. Speak to Professor Fig in his office. There's also this, talk to Poppy and find out why she left so abruptly after we returned the dragon egg. It says it's just a conversation, so I'm gonna do that first. That appears to just be a conversation. Bear with me as I am terrible at the map navigation here. It's awful. But if we go, okay. Travel here, I can go meet with Poppy, talk to her, and then go to talk to Professor Fig. So that's a good approach to take first. Again, I'm sorry I don't have the last 4 episodes for you. Things happen, technical difficulties. I was trying to do things to make my game recording better, and got rid of the game audio completely. Things happen.
You are the talk of the school since you saved Mr. Rib and I from the Ashwinders. We have come so far. We should discuss the next steps in our plan to stop Harlow.
That's Natty with reaching out about doing more stuff, but we're going to talk to Poppy.
There you are. You were in such a state when you left.
The poachers got to my gran. Someone recognized me in Horntail Hall and they got to her.
What do you mean? Is she all right?
She's fine, thank goodness. But they were at her house, our house. They assumed I'd sent the egg there. She said they took the whole place apart looking for it, screaming that we'd cost them everything.
I'm sorry, Poppy. I'm glad she's all right. I don't think either one of us could have anticipated that.
I should have known. I underestimated the poachers. And now another creature's in danger.
What do you mean?
The poachers refused to leave empty-handed, so they took valuable journals that Gran had discovered when she was researching rare creatures. One of them contained theories about a secret hiding place of the Snidget, long thought to be extinct.
The Snidget is the bird that used to be the golden snitch, but we're gonna ask about it.
Exactly what kind of creature is a Snidget?
It's a small bird with golden feathers. It's incredible. It has rotational wings that allow it to dart quickly in any direction. In fact, the golden snitch in Quidditch is based on the Snidget, which barbarically was actually used in the sport hundreds of years ago.
I take it you aren't going to let the poachers anywhere near the Snidgets.
Gran wants me to stay out of it, but I know she's devastated that poachers might go after the Snidgets, if they still exist. We had the element of surprise on our side when we saved that dragon, but the poachers will be watching for us now.
We need allies. Others who hate the poachers enough to help us, who value creatures as much
Merlin's beard! You're a genius! The centaurs! They'd want the Snidgets protected at all costs.
Sounds as if we need to go and talk to the centaurs.
We'll need to be careful in how we approach them. Tensions with them are high. Still, I think they may be our only hope. Let me think on it.
I'm glad I had that
I'll let you know as soon as I have a plan.
I'm glad I had the conversation with her because I knew it would be I'm going to talk to you later about next steps. So that was the right move. That I should ask Natty about how she's been doing since I helped her and Mr. Rape escape the Ashwinder's hideout. Okay, another conversation. So again, gonna just get it out of the way so that she can do the whole "I will talk to you later" thing that typically happens.
I have been meaning to speak with you.
I still can't believe we escaped the Ashwinders.
You may not realize it, but you are the talk of the school since you saved me that day.
I wonder how everyone knows about it.
I told my mother in the hope that she would be more forgiving of what I have been up to if it came from me. She likely told other professors, and news travels quickly. Unfortunately, she might, in fact, have been even less forgiving than I'd hoped.
If she knew more about what you've done, I suspect she'd be proud.
If she knew any more about what I've done, she would never let me out of her sight again.
I'm sorry. Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided?
She has not. Harlow is as strong as ever. Someone needs to stop him, whether it is us or Officer Singer. If someone had stopped the monsters like him in Matabeleland, my father would be alive today.
What exactly happened to your father?
It was a beautiful day. My mother had gone to tend to a neighbor who was ill, and so my father and I were galloping in the savannah.
Galloping? Your father was also an animagus, I take it?
He could become the most majestic giraffe, and he would carry me on his back, my arms around his neck. We were on our way home when we surprised a group of bandits who had come from our village. One of them saw me just as he removed a scarf from his face. He shouted and then aimed his rifle.
He didn't want you to identify him.
Exactly. In an instant, my father bowed his neck to protect me and was hit. As he fell, my father changed back into his human form. When the bandits saw this, they turned and ran in fear. Magic terrified them, and then he was gone. And it was all my fault.
Your fault? How so?
He died protecting me. If I had been capable of protecting myself, he would still be alive today. My mother and I tried to go on without him, but it became too much for us there. A few years later, we left to come to Scotland.
I'm sorry, Natty. I can't imagine what you've been through. Your father sounds exceptional.
He was truly extraordinary. And thank you for your kind words. We all have our burdens. My father had a saying about that.
Yes, I remember. Rain does not fall on one roof alone.
Exactly. Soon you and I will put an end to the Ashwinders, beginning with Harlow. And once he is gone, we will turn our attention to Rookwood. We are making progress, and we will succeed. Thank
All right.
you again for saving me. You deserve all of the praise you have received.
So look at the Great Hall for a second. It's Christmas time. By the time this is uploaded, it will almost be Christmas time as well. Now, before we go to do this thing I was going to do, when I opened the game today, I got a ton of notifications about gear. But I don't see... Oh, it's this. I can change the appearance of my robe. Oh, that looks cool. That looks very interesting. Oh, you get them by completing main quests. Merlin's cloak. What is this? Spider Slayer armor. Actually, you kind of want to keep that. Let's see. What else can I equip? I want some green that, like, pops underneath the... This is a look. I'm trying to see which one I like the best. Oh, sweet. It's like what the Death Eaters wore. What are these? Okay. Enough playing around. The Polyjuice plot. This should be the right way.
She did say that.
I thought she did. I hope you know that it isn't true.
Well, of course you're going to say that. What have you learnt?
If I could have a moment of your time.
Okay, we're gonna talk to this girl just to initiate the quest.
That was quite the quiz you gave me.
Oh, not her. No.
Good test of one's knowledge, isn't it? I'm actually working on something equally interesting, but need help from a 5th year, so it's good you came along. Are you familiar with Herodiana Byrne? Don't answer that. Of course you're not. No one seems to know of her but me. She's only the single greatest Depulso master of all time, even taught at Hogwarts, briefly.
How interesting. I'm amazed I've never heard of her.
It's a travesty she's not more well known. I often read about great witches in my limited free time. There are many. Whilst reading about her, I learned that she built a secret Depulso training room here at Hogwarts. But in typical clever Herodiana fashion, one cannot access it unless one knows Depulso, which of course, 3rd years aren't taught.
And you're a 3rd year, so...
Quick one, aren't you? According to what I've read, her signature outfit may still be there. I would love to see it. Would you get Herodiana's signature outfit and show it to me?
If you tell me where to go, I'll see what I can do about it.
Simply go to the Hall of Herodiana. It's at the base of the Defense Against the Dark Arts Tower. There, you'll find a series of Depulso puzzles concealing pieces of Herodiana's ensemble.
Very well. I shall let you know if I find anything.
I can't wait to see Herodiana's ensemble. Perhaps I'll make myself...
And I will eventually do that. But the Polyjuice plot is much more of a priority than doing something for the annoying Ravenclaw girl.
Suppose I should look for that secret hole Sophronia told me about. It does sound interesting.
Of course, in typical me fashion, I fast traveled not exactly at the place I needed to be, which is what you do when the map is so confusing.
I'd like to open a shop.
I think I know how and where to approach the centaurs about protecting the Snidgets. Meet me in the Forbidden Forest.
That was quick. Poppy already is ready.
Professor Fig, the keepers have shown me where the next trial is.
Has something changed?
Lodgok and I have learned that the goblins are searching for another repository, like the one we saw at Rookwood Castle. And I discovered that they're building massive drills to help in their search. Professor Fitzgerald seemed very concerned.
I see. Ranrock clearly knows even more than we suspected.
And sir, there's something else. Lodgok knew Miriam.
He knew Miriam?
They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. She was doing research. That's where she found the container with the portkey. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it, despite orders from Ranrock.
I don't know what to say. She could win over almost anyone. I want to hear more of this. And, in fact, I'd like to speak with Lodgok directly. But we've no time now. Where is the next trial?
Believe it or not, it's in the headmaster's office.
Incredible. All right. You'll need the password to get past the stone gargoyle. The headmaster's house elf will know it.
I've actually met Scrope, but I'm not sure he'll tell me. He's rather devoted to the Black family.
He is. So you'll need a disguise. I have just the thing. A polyjuice potion. You'll look and sound like Professor Black.
Wait, doesn't Polyjuice Potion require a bit of the person you want to change into? And take ages to brew?
It does.
So how do you already have Polyjuice Potion to change into Professor Black?
One never knows when such a thing may come in handy. Let's just say I felt the need to be prepared for anything after my fruitless trip to the ministry on his behalf. Now, time is of the essence. Drink up and I shall explain more.
Oh, we're doing this now? Okay. I just did all that to change my appearance too, and then here we go.
How do you feel?
Incredible. I won't forget that taste anytime soon. How do I sound?
Convincing. I've taken the liberty of transfiguring your robes. As we discussed, you'll need the password from Scrope, who could be anywhere in the castle. You might look for Professor Kagawa. She's taken to badgering the poor elf about Quidditch in the hopes that he can convince Black to change his mind. Thus far, unsuccessfully.
I see. But what if Professor Black sees me?
Leave him to me. I shall tell him where to meet a liaison from the ministry in Hogsmeade. That should give you plenty of time.
Thank you, Professor. I suppose we'll meet again in the map chamber.
It's rather strange to hear gratitude coming from Professor Black. I'll see you there.
Now, to find the headmaster's house elf.
But you can't fast travel right now. It's probably because I'm going to have some interactions on the way there. Yeah.
Professor, a moment of your time. Professor, I was hoping to catch you.
Places to be, Professor Sharp. Places to be.
Of course, sir. Only, you'd asked me about a particular potion, and I did?
I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day.
Probably best not to discuss it here, sir.
I assure you, Sharp, you may speak freely.
Very well. I've brewed the cure for boils you wanted. I can drop it by your office when it's convenient.
Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger. Simply have a student deliver it.
A student. Very well, sir, if you insist.
I do. And thank you, Sharp. I just hope you've brewed enough for all my boils.
Now, to determine which student gets this rather unenviable task.
Should make it myself, that way I can get into the office. Wouldn't that...
Stand proud, purebloods. The future is yours.
What could the headmaster want?
You call that a shine on those boots? Do better.
Professor Black.
Greetings. I mean, out of my way, children.
Professor, a word? Professor Black, again, it is not too late to reconsider your decision regarding Quidditch. We could still have trials and a somewhat shortened season. It would be better than none at all.
But the injury, Madam Kogawa.
Professor, more than one student has taken a bludger to the head on our pitch. I dare say it knocked some sense into them. And they are fine now. The fact that it happened to be a pureblood, well, that's no reason to...
What nonsense! That you would trivialize the health of a student over a silly game.
A silly game? You are quite impossible sometimes. Sir, I've a good mind to write to the Department of Magical Games and Sports at the Ministry about you.
Good idea. I can even provide the parchment should you need it. Now, where is my elf?
Parchment? Very well, I will, and with pleasure. And I spotted Scrope in the Great Hall. Seems to be avoiding me.
I wonder why. Good day, Madam Kogawa.
I'm actually on her side. I think Quidditch should come back.
What did we do to deserve him as a head?
Has anyone seen my ivory-handled hand mirror? Of course you haven't.
Where's the Great Hall? Right here.
I should think it's the headmaster and he's coming this way.
People should not be afraid of the headmaster.
I haven't time for any of you at the moment. None.
Professor, I need to speak to you. Hello, Professor Black.
Ah, Professor Weasley. How delightful to see you.
Sir?
Since I have you here, I wonder if I might, speak with you about Professor Fig.
Oh, very well.
I've decided to give him a bit more, leeway with his time.
Leeway, Professor? Are you sure that's wise? I confess I do worry for his students. He's rarely here as it is.
I realize that, and I'd like to keep it that way.
I see. But, sir, if I may, I am wary of how much time the new fifth year seems to be spending away from the castle, supposedly on Professor Fig's behalf. I've heard unsettling rumors of their escapades. Everything from sneaking into the Forbidden Forest to confronting Ranrock's loyalists and Rookwood's lot.
What? Goodness. You cannot believe everything you hear, Professor. No, you cannot. I mean, I shall keep an eye on Fig. You simply keep doing the wonderful job that you're doing. Simply wonderful.
Thank you. But I'm happy to look into...
Good. That'll be all, Weasley. I mean, Professor Weasley. Good day.
Popular man.
Leeway for Professor Fig? I shall never understand that man.
That ought to give Professor Fig some breathing room.
Smart move, though.
Scrope's as hard a worker as...
Ahem! Attention, students! I hereby decree that the Great Hall be forthwith decorated in the stunning banners of Slytherin. I shall be taking no questions at this time. Or ever.
Sweet.
Scrope!
Oh, greetings, Master.
Remind me of the password to my office.
Oh, but Master made Scrope swear never to tell anyone, even Master himself.
And now I'm telling you that you can tell me.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Scrope begs forgiveness. It is the Black family motto, Master.
Right. Of course.
Master does remember it.
It's pure bloods forever, isn't it?
Close, Master. Scrope thinks Master is indeed testing Scrope. It is always pure.
Obviously.
And, of course, as Master knows, in French.
Ah, yes, of course. I order you to pronounce it for me.
Oh, Master knows that Scrope's French is most pitiful. Oh, very well. Toujours pure.
There is another matter, Scrope. I confiscated this filthy diary from a student. It smells of squid and seawater.
Oh, Apollonia's diary. That is quite a surprise, Master. What do you wish Scrope to do with this treasure? Rubbish.
Whatever you wish, Scrope. It's your treasure. Now, off with you.
Toujours deux. Is that how you say it?
Apologies,
That was
post,
terrible.
I best get out of sight. Made it just in time. It's wearing off.
Fig was right. I can't believe it worked. Now to speak the password to the gargoyle.
Now, is that next? Not yet, but I'm sure if I go to meet with Poppy to figure out our rescue plan on the way there, I will probably be contacted in some way. Wait. No, no, it's here. Wonderful. Okay. I don't actually want to begin the trial, though. So, I hope I don't have to do that, because I don't want to do that in this episode. It's already nearing a half hour. But I'll at least go into the office.
Revelio.
Oh, that's the one-eyed witch statue. Oh, discovering more flu locations, which is nice too.
I'd better keep an eye on high places around the school for Zenobia's gobstones.
Oh, another one.
Zenobia's gobstones.
Because he said it,
Hardly see what all the fuss is about.
good to cast it whenever I see it.
wish our common room was bigger.
Never been to this part of the school before.
Revelio.
Okay, one Caesar's gobstones. What's this? Locked. I wonder what that leads to.
The gargoyle. That's where I need to speak the password. Toujours pure.
Toujours pure.
I wonder if all the elite wizarding families have a motto. Revelio.
Sleeping portraits. Not all headmasters and headmistresses enjoy reliving the day-to-day challenges of running a school of witchcraft and wizardry. Some prefer to enjoy a well-earned nap when possible. Oh, there's another one right over here. The Sorting Hat. This enchanted hat was created by the 4 founders of Hogwarts as the means by which students would be placed into one of the 4 schoolhouses. Skilled at legilimency, the Sorting Hat can see into the wearer's head, allowing it to determine their thoughts and abilities. Legilimency is something explored in Order of the Phoenix or Half-Blood Prince. I think it's Half-Blood Prince, I might be wrong.
It's good to see you.
All thanks to Professor Fig's quick thinking. Now what?
Approach the pedestal in the antechamber and read the book that appears.
I suspect there will be more to this than reading a book.
Your suspicions are correct. We shall speak when you are finished.
Has this been under the headmaster's nose all this time?
Apothecary receipt. Cure for boils, 1 vial. Okay, the boils thing is going to be a running joke, I guess.
That must be the pedestal.
Now this book might take us into the trial. We'll see. Or into the book.
Where am I? Professor Fitzgerald? Can you hear me?
I am here. In this place, you may call me Neve.
Neem?
You shall be witness to a fable. Pay attention. Things are not always as they seem. You must move swiftly and cautiously. Use the tools you encounter to find me. In this place, as in life, death takes many forms. Avoid each of them at all costs.
Well, that's interesting. And I'm going to explore the rest of whatever this is in the next episode. So make sure you like the video, you subscribe, you leave a comment, click the bell to be notified for future uploads. I will see you next time as I continue this journey through the fable.